What's your first impression of the program?
My first impression of the program is we're in a very good place. We have great leadership. I think Coach Diaco and his entire staff that he's brought here and built is doing a great job. Our facilities are extremely impressive. I am very impressed and surprised at how nice our facilities are. I think for a Northeastern team to have this type of indoor facility is absolutely imperative. We have outdoor grass fields that are great, and we've got a great operational facility that, all combined in totality presents a great picture when we're bringing families and recruits on visits. I think we have a lot to sell. So I think the program is extremely healthy. Up until really last night, I can't even tell you what the schedule's been like over the last 3 weeks, but it's been good. The great thing about the pace has been that I've been able to get out and really see as many people, get out and visit with the programs that I have, and unfortunately I haven't been able to spend a lot of time with all of our student athletes and their programs, but I really got to spend a lot of time with the women's basketball team. I got to spend some time with the men's basketball team, and most recently baseball, and that's been really fun because we spend a ton of time in a lot of different areas outside of working with our student athletes, but I got to tell you the most excitement and energized I get is when I really get time to spend with the student athletes, because that's why we do what we do. And certainly as a former student athlete myself, I appreciate the situation that they're in, the experience that they're having, and having the opportunity to see some of our student athletes this spring have the success that they've had, both athletically and academically, has absolutely been awesome. See what he's been able to do with changing that culture there, where they had never been beyond the first round of an NCAA tournament to this is the second year in a row they're in the College World Series, and now they're one game away from winning a national championship. To me, that demonstrates the ability to come in as Coach Diaco and his staff is, change the culture, set the bar really high, which I know I wasn't here, but I've heard the bar that he set. And I can tell you the first meeting that Clint Myers had with that softball team was we're going to the College World Series. They didn't do it their first year, but here they are 3 years later. They're one game away from winning the national championship. So I think it takes setting high expectations, having unbelievable standards, and that's what I see in our football program. I've seen this type of a women's clinic done at several places that I've been. I think it's a great way to engage a constituency group that's not typically that engaged in football. But, and that's not to say that there's not women that love football, but I think this is an opportunity to bring them into the inner circle of football and demonstrate some of the things that we do with our team, get them to have a relationship and get to know some of our student athletes as well as our coaches. And to me, that just can create a bond that I'm sure every single one of these women will have a different experience this fall than they would have had they not been here tonight.
A lot of attention of the media here was turned to the meetings in Texas last week.
Texas? Oh,
you were down. You were down in Florida. You guys were down in Florida.
Everything was really going on in Key Biscayne, not Dallas.
But how did that go for you? It was your first time around the conference members, probably. Just to get the UConn staff down there and talk about
I was really focused on what was going on in Key Biscayne, and certainly that was my first opportunity and experience getting together with all of the leadership, whether it's the presidents or the athletic directors or some of the other head coaches in the league, and spending time with Mike Oresco and his staff with the American Athletic Conference. And it was great. For me, it was a lot of learning. It was a lot of listening, because I think anytime you come into that type of an environment, to go in and start talking a lot is probably the wrong approach. At least it is for me. So, I was doing a lot of listening, a lot of learning, and I need to understand where UConn fits in, how we can make our conference stronger, because that is our conference, and right now, as I've said many times, my goal and the goal for all of our coaches needs to be to dominate the conference that we're in. And I think there's a lot of great things about our conference. I think we can continue to improve and grow the prominence of our conference. We have a lot of teams and universities that are investing heavily in their institutions and their athletic programs, and I think that bodes well. And the thing that's kind of interesting is that the only teams that anyone's talking about or programs that anyone's talking about moving are all in our conference for the most part. So that tells you about the strength of our conference. So I'm excited about the future and getting to work with those individuals on how we can really raise the level of national credibility that our conference has, because we're doing a lot of great things.
One of the items that came out of that was sort of an academic consortium, maybe improved research. Can you go into more detail about what that's about and how does that help improve the image of the league?
Well, I think the faculty athletic representatives, which are really driving that piece, are really key to the overall conference. And I think Scott Brown, who is our faculty athletic representative on our campus here, has a great national reputation. A lot of this was at his doing. He had a large part in getting that through, as well as our president here. And I think it will raise the level, and also it will establish that we're also interested in the academic side of the house, because we are. And there's no one more interested in academics within our conference than UConn. We have the highest rated school in the league, and we're very proud of that.